hard to tell, but for this month I did like an 80s retro vintage type thing. Mishmash, knickknack, all that fun stuff from that era, based solely off the cover page, similar to what I did last month with no clear theme idea in mind until I did my cover page. But I really like how this came out, a lot more than last month. I'm very excited to use it, and it was a lot of fun to make. I did my cover page inspired by a speed paint I did a while ago, inspired by what inspired that speed paint technically, but it's potato. So it's inspired by those like VHS type images, the glitchy ones that they look really cool, and I love them a lot. So I figured I would put it in my bullet journal, and I actually did another one for my finances page because I had no idea what to do and I wanted to add in some more watercolor. So I just did another one, but it's different. It's more of a cityscape sunset type one, but we'll talk about that when we get there. For now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the cover page. So for my quote page, I knew that I wanted to do a quote kind of in this font. I didn't know what quote I wanted to do, so I just looked up like retro quotes on Pinterest. Not going front, I was not inspired, but I was excited to use this font and get to pick fun colors and bright colors, because I don't do a whole lot of bright colors in my bullet journal usually. I stick with like one color theme for each month, and usually those are more muted colors because I'm not a colorful person. But it was kind of fun to use the bright colors in this, and I really like how it came out. For some reason the footage cuts off halfway through. I don't know why. I don't know where the other footage went to, but you'll see it in the flip through anyways. So since I have a job now, I went back to doing a proper calendar with this type of layout that I really love to use because it doesn't take up 2 whole pages and you can add some fun art on top, which I chose to draw a cassette tape because music was a big part of that era and I wanted to draw a cassette tape, so I just kind of colored it in however I felt like, and I realized that I inverted the colors, so you'll see me go back and fix that later. And then at the bottom I put the quote, "Life is a mixtape," because I can, and I kind of tried to do not necessarily like a font, but like, you know, when people write on like the mixtapes or the cassette tapes or CDs and stuff into Sharpie and it looks kind of like that. That's what I was going for, except I couldn't use a Sharpie because it would bleed through really bad. But I think I did a pretty good job emulating that, and I'm quite pleased with my calendar page. try something new for the habit tracker in using the Alistair method because it seemed like it would be effective and I really want to try it. I also used it in my finances, which I'll explain when I get there. But I hope that it works as well as I think it will. I think that it'll work a lot better than the graphs for me because it'll be more of a visual. I don't know. I think I'll like it, but I also went with a vintage Coke bottle for this just because, like, you go to the diners and you get the Coke floats or the root beer floats or whatever, but I didn't want to draw that, so I just drew an old-timey Coke bottle, and I think it looks pretty cool, and I like the red and white together with the little white stripe. I don't know, I think it just makes it pop more. So it's not my favorite page of the spread because the Coke font was super hard to do, and for the title it doesn't really look like the Coke font, but we know what it is, and I think that it will be effective and it'll be a fun experiment. So for my mood tracker, I tried to emulate the Polaroid logo type thing, which I'll pop up on the screen here. I wanted to do this originally in January for my mood tracker when I did my Polaroid theme, but I ended up picking a color scheme for that and it didn't match it. So now that I didn't really have a color scheme, I just figured I'd go with it, and I just got these new midliner brush pens that are like pretty bright colors, but they're muted, kind of like the Polaroid logo. So I wanted to use those mostly. That was my excuse. And it's very simple and straightforward, pretty easy to create, but I think it'll look cool once I get all the colors filled up and it's just a rainbow. And here is the infamous finance tracker. Wow, I cannot English today. But yes, I did decide to emulate this in the VHS style like I did the title page, which I don't usually do, but I love this aesthetic so much. I said aesthetic. I love it, and I wanted to do it again, and also I had no ideas. I didn't even know how I wanted to set it up originally, so planning that out took a while because I have a job now, so I need to actually have finances to check. Whoa! So I just included these two like boxes with each of my paychecks that I'm gonna get, because I get paid bi-weekly, and the percent of each that I want to split towards what, as well as the total amount. And then in the middle I included a box to check my balance at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month, just to see how I'm doing. And then on the right side I included an Alistair method type setup to track my actual spending, which I put the days of the week on the, I guess it would be the x-axis, the y-axis, I don't know. I don't want to think about math right now, but I put the days of the week, and then I put the 3 categories of my spending, which is food, savings, or not savings, spendings, and emergency. And I'm going to just put the amount of money I have left after each transaction, so I can kind of see how much I spent, and or if I gain money, I'll put how much I earned on the day that I earned it. And I think that it'll be an effective little thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but maybe I'll do a video about it one day. I know Cass is doing a finances video soon, but if it works out, I don't know, maybe I'll do one. Probably not, because I'm lame, but it makes sense in my head, and that's what matters. So I'm gonna give it a whirl, and this will be kind of a trial and error thing, because I've never really had to worry about, but I've never really had to track my finances, because I've never had an income before. So I've been a pretty lenient spender because I've been not getting money. But now that I am, and I'm gonna probably spend more money, I need to be careful with it, and I need to be able to see what and when I spend. So that's the tea. And these two are quite possibly my favorite pages. Not necessarily like in general, but they were really fun to create, and I'm really proud of coming with the idea. Basically, they're inspired by one of my favorite movies, Heathers, which was released in 1989. And I did 2 pages so that I could include all 4 of the Heathers, well, all 3 in Veronica. represented by their colors and the croquet mallets, and I just kind of did the little croquet hoops. I don't know what they're called for my stats page, but this is just the brained up page, which is really simple. It's just the label and then like the quote at the bottom, which says, "Chaos killed the dinosaurs, darling," which is a JD quote, and I am in love with JD. By the way, he's a very attractive man. And then my stats, like I said, is just the weird croquet hoops labeled with each of the colors of the Heathers and Veronica. And at the bottom there's another quote, because there's just so many good quotes from Heathers. And it's, "What's your damage, Heather?" Because iconic, just chef's kiss. And the font was actually kind of fun to do. It's kind of like a faux calligraphy font, but a little bit different. It's called Honey, and I kind of love it a lot, so I might be using it more often. But it's from one of the movie posters, and it's really cute and kind of 80s vibes, so I went with it, and I think that it looks pretty nifty. So if you guys have made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and here is the final flip through. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video.